What was the first Japanese thing you were exposed to?
Books with samurais.
Anime and Manga camp.
One picture of a mountain.
Hello Kitty and Kuromi.
The power of love is what we're talking about here. What Japanese cultural aspect have you been exposed to for the very first time in your life? So we're gonna go turn back time and ask here at Magnificon Expo what the people of Poland have seen first about Japanese culture. I'm curious what it is too, so let's go and ask. Who are you dressed as today?
Oh, I dress up, 1 second. I forget my name. Yes, Roronoa Zoro from One Piece.
Yes, look at the detail.
Yes.
Wow.
3 katanas, of course. And I prepare for myself, everything.
Wow,
Yeah.
you made it?
Yeah, I made it. Not katanas, but the clothes, yeah.
That is so cool.
Thank you.
Wow, nice. All right. Who are you dressing up as?
I'm Bao Bao from Fate, and I don't make this, but I bought it, and it's really pretty. I love her.
It's really cute.
Yeah, and she's like I don't know, like a vampire or something, but I love her. I love the details and all of these little things, and she's just perfect.
She's a queen. Yeah.
Yes!
Who are you dressed as?
I'm dressed up as Toji Fushiguro from Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah. I don't have my stuff, but yeah, it's very comfy cosplay, very simple.
When you were small here in Poland, what was the very first Japanese culture thing you've seen? The very first Japan thing you've been exposed to? Was it an exchange? Was it like something on TV? Was it a person you met? What was the first Japanese culture thing you remember seeing ever in your life?
Tokyo Drift.
Wow.
Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. About 12, I guess. Yeah, or younger. Yeah, like the movie fascinated me because all the neons, all the fancy cars that weren't in the previous things, and just the difference of it, and like the whole thing about drifting and everything, not just speed. So yeah, it was quite a shock.
I think watching Sailor Moon on TV. Yeah, I was like 2 years old, and I was like the biggest fan of it.
Right, and that got you into it. And did your parents watch it with you?
Yeah, my parents watched it with me. Like my mother said, that was my ultimate go-to cartoon, and I watched it every day. And I was like, yeah, this one.
At 2 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have Polish dubbing on television, all the series. So yeah, I was watching that.
Wow, my mom didn't allow me to watch that. I needed to get older before I was allowed to watch it. So your parents are cool.
Yeah, my parents are cool. I saw it in the movie, of course. It was the Memory of Geisha. It was so beautiful movies for me. And plus Dragon Ball,
Yay!
of course. But I don't remember how much I have, maybe 6 or 7 years old. Yeah, it was first step into anime world.
And now there's no turning back.
It's true.
Yay! In Poland, what was the very first Japanese culture thing you've been exposed to when you were a child? What's the first Japanese thing you've ever seen?
So actually I wasn't exposed much because I was a pretty sheltered kid. So up till middle school, yeah. Then I was exposed to manga, but only as a drawing medium. I saw all the books, how to draw manga and stuff like that. And from that, I learned about anime and manga. I was very confused, but it was very thrilling to learn how to draw that. So yeah.
You learned how to draw that and now you're a full-time artist. Yeah. Wow, the magic. So the very first thing got you into your career. What was the very first Japanese thing you've seen?
So it was I was watching some cartoons on the website. I think I was watching Adventure Time. I was 11 years old, and there was a recommendation for cartoon. I didn't know what it is. It was called Sankara. It was my first anime, and I just watched the first episode, and I was mesmerized. It was really beautiful, drawn and animated. And since then, I started watching it more and more and more. And my parents actually noticed that I took some interest in Japanese culture and the Japanese animation. So they sent me on a anime and manga camp. with other children, and since then I started like took an interest in cosplaying. It was like not a full time, but it was like some first weeks and stuff. So yeah, I think like my first anime started it.
Yeah, so you got kind of recommended to it.
Yeah, it was a destiny.
So in one movie on YouTube, actually, geisha. And I fell in love with them. Those, I don't know what it's called, like kimono or something like that. I don't want to be disrespectful. And this makeup, I love it. I would like to dress up as well.
So that was the very first thing. How old were you?
I think I was like 5 years old.
Wow.
I also saw in Polish language manga of Sailor Moon. My mom read it.
So you also got exposed to Sailor Moon through your mom?
Yes, and I got exposed to Dragon Ball from my dad.
All right. Good parents.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was that one picture of a mountain. I think so. It's like very big and it looks so beautiful, this picture. But I didn't know it was from Japan. And the second time when I really knew I was watching about Japan, it's when I watched a YouTube video of a Polish YouTuber that visited Japan. And I remember exactly that she worked in a maid cafe for one day. Yeah, and that was the first time when I saw all of this. And I really wanted to visit then, just to experience everything she experienced, because I really liked that video. So I think that's the first time when I really knew it was Japan, but the first time it was this picture.
So we had a YouTuber. Do you remember their name?
Agnieszka Grzelak.
I think when I was 10, I found out about Madoka Magica.
Oh.
I love it. It's my first like manga, and I love the anime, so it had a special place in my heart. So
You were 10.
yeah,
That's a bit violent for 10.
you know.
Was it on TV? Where did you find it?
No, I found it in the like bookstore.
Oh, the manga.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
wow. How did you react to that scene, the famous Madoka scene when you were 10?
I was like, oh, Mom, can you see that? So, she was like, oh my God, okay, I give it to you. Okay, don't worry.
Your mom was okay with it. What?
Chill, so Yeah.
Wow. First impression of Japan.
Yeah, it was great. That's why I'm in cosplay here now.
All right. Works? All right.
I think it was books with samurais.
Oh, not a manga?
Not a manga, no.
Oh, okay, cool. So like Japanese culture books kind of.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. How about you?
I would say I saw in the movie more like on the TV Inazuma 11 or Pokemon. Oh yeah, also a classic of genre Dragon Ball. The very early series. It was very nice experience to saw something different than usually other show.
Was that dubbed in Polish?
No, it was by subtitles. Yeah, and moreover, it's still now. Like we have a few channels with anime and subtitles.
So as a kid, you have to read a lot of subtitles?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, why not? It's better.
Only the one who was translated was Pokemon, I think. Yeah?
Yeah, Pokemon was that was the first translated. But Dragon Ball original wasn't.
First thing that I saw was probably Doraemon. My grandma had these glasses that, from what I know, they are really unique now. I think they are sold for hundreds of pounds right now. My grandma still has them and doesn't know the value of it. But yeah, that's probably the first thing that I got to experience from Japan when I was a kid. Also, Digimon. It's a series that I've grown on and pretty much the first anime that I've watched. So yeah, that would be it.
Yes. Okay, Doraemon and Digimon. What was the first Japanese thing you saw?
When I was small, I saw so much Sanrio.
Sanrio, like Hello Kitty and Friends?
Yes. Hello Kitty and Kuromi.
Who's your favorite Sanrio character?
Melody, my Melody.
My Melody. So at the time, did you have like a toy or something from them?
I have plushies. Plushies.
Plushies. You still have them?
Yes.
Yes. Hey. Anything else you've seen from Japan when you were small?
Probably Naruto on Jetix. It's a Polish distribution of different cartoons and stuff like that. So Jetix also had Polish dubbing for Naruto. It was bad, but it was Polish, and that's how I think pretty much most Polish kids from my age got to know Naruto and well, anime in general.
I think it was Geisha. I saw them playing on TikTok and I really liked how they were dressed. So my wife introduced me to this culture and showed me how different they can look, and those gays are really cute and interesting to look at.
Wow, how old were you when you saw that?
It was a few years ago actually, because earlier I wasn't really interested in the Asian culture, but when I came into the Genshin and the other things related to it, I go into it more.
All right, so Genshin kind of got you then to your wife, and your wife got you then into Japanese culture.
Yes, exactly.
The power of love is what we're talking about here. Hey. All right, what was the very first thing you learned or saw about Japan?
Well, so Sailor Moon aired when I was really tiny. So I was like 7 at the time. So that was the first thing that got me into Japan as a whole. But of course, before that, I've heard about the geisha, about the samurai. I knew that they exist, and that was it. And also a lot of kids at my elementary school practiced martial arts like the karate or judo. So everybody more or less knew how to count from 1 to 10 because their teachers taught them that during karate classes.
So a lot of kids in elementary school here in Poland learn karate?
Yeah, a lot. It's really popular for kids to learn karate, judo, aikido, and so on.
There's a lot of classes when they're teaching about it.
So, like, what age do people start karate here?
It's from very young age, actually. It's like
4 or
5, yes.
Yeah.
Early.
Yeah.
There are classes that suited to the age, so it's not like the 5 years old fighting with the 15 years old or something, but they are starting from a very young age.
There's a really big pressure for kids to learn sports, and a lot of parents choose martial arts because they also teach you about respect for other people and so on.
So Sailor Moon was then the first that kind of connected it to Japan, like the pop culture.
That's true. Then, of course, there was other anime series. There was Pokemon as well, Dragon Ball, and everything that brought us the 90s kids to the Japanese culture. And I'm pretty sure you will be able to see a lot of people in their 30s, in their 40s who are still enjoying the culture, who are building all of those conventions and so on because they are so hooked up into what they loved as a child. And, of course, we have a lot of young people now enjoying anime, enjoying games, Asian games such as Genshin in general, but also Japanese games, specifically Twisted Wonderland or Fate Stay Night and so on. So it's really a big thing now in Poland.
My very first exposure to Japanese culture was actually in school, in elementary school, because some Japanese teachers came to my school in Germany and they talked about Japan, and they also brought a set of Japanese badminton that you play on New Year's. And I remember winning that for a reason, and it was my treasure for so many years, and I would like take it out of the bag and look at the beautiful design, and I would love it so much. So whoever those Japanese teachers were, thank you so much for coming to my elementary school many, many years ago. But I'm curious now, this is a question we've not asked before. So what is your very first exposure to Japanese culture? Let's turn back time. I want to see the comments. I want to see what your first exposure was. But if you want to find out more about Japan, check out this video here next, and I'll catch you soon on Ask Japanese. Bye!